Well, welcome back to our video series on commercial property. So, what are some of the things that a lot of tenants forget to investigate or ask when they are about to sign a commercial lease? Number one, these days we rely very much on the quality of internet service. Now, it is something that a lot of people assume they are going to have a satisfactory internet service. This is something that you really must investigate quite thoroughly before you go into signing off on a lease. Just to give you an example, I was involved in a building where across the road was outstanding high quality broadband speed because the telephone exchange was only a few hundred metres away. However, on our side of the street, which was the older side of the street, we were connected to an exchange that was 15 kilometres away. And this meant that on that side of the street, there was very poor broadband reception. So this is something that you really need to investigate. And I have heard of publishing companies having to pay somewhere in the order of $15,000 to bring a reasonable quality broadband privately to their premises. So it's not a cost that you want to be shocked with after you've moved in. The second thing I wanted to talk to you about, or the second question that you should be asking, is what are the electricity or energy arrangements for the property that I'm going to be leasing? So you need to find out that you have your own meter and that you are free to connect to any retailer of your choice. Sometimes there are shared meter situations and you need to be aware of this before you launch into your lease. And sometimes you are obliged or fixed into purchasing your energy from a body corporate per se if they are buying it in bulk. So you need to get to the nitty-gritty of that before you sign your lease. So third topic I wanted to talk about, and on the same vein of electricity, is what is the energy consumption like in this property that I'm about to lease? So you don't automatically assume that the running costs are going to be efficient or low. I can give you one example. A building that I currently manage, up until a year ago, had 30-year-old air conditioning system. And the way that this air conditioning system was controlled temperature-wise was if someone wanted, if the tenancy was too cool, then they would turn the temperature up, and what it would effectively do is turn on a heater to heat the air-conditioned air. So this is like driving a car with one foot on the brake and one foot on the accelerator. Needless to say, the electricity costs were astronomical until we were able to upgrade the air conditioning and get a new efficient air conditioning system. This was terrible, and you wouldn't want to find yourself locked into this situation with a 3-year lease where you've got an inefficient operation. So one of the things you could do is ask the agent before you actually sign the lease for a copy of the electricity or energy bill of the previous tenant. The fourth thing I wanted to talk about is zoning. Now, this is a very important question to ask. Just because someone was doing the activity that you were planning to do doesn't mean it necessarily is approved. Like, let's say, for instance, you're a hairdresser and you're going into a tenancy where there previously was a hairdresser for, say, 10 years. Now, you can't assume that they were operating legally. So if you move in and start operating and someone makes a complaint and your business is non-conforming, the council could close you down. So very important that you absolutely dot the I's and cross the T's with the zoning for the property to make sure it is correct for the use that you intend to take care of. And fifth, I'd like to point out, and this is sometimes a shock for a lot of tenants, is clarify who is paying for the legal fees for the preparation of the lease and how much they may be if I am going to be paying for them. So in Queensland, if it's a retail lease, the owner must pay for the cost of preparation of the lease. If it's not a retail lease, then quite typically the owner drafts the lease, you sign it, and then they pass the bill on to you. So you need to make sure that you're not going to be handed a $2,500, $3,000 unexpected bill when you have completed the lease and move in. So a lot of these things encompass outgoings, and if you're not 100% clear on what outgoings are, please have a look at the end of this video. There should be a link to another video that I've done previously about outgoings, and hopefully that has given you some good ammunition to discuss with your leasing agent before you actually sign on the dotted line. If you have any further questions, please click the link to contact us or make a comment in the video, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video series on commercial property. I'm Terry Norg, Principal of Property Brokers. Thanks for watching.